Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all had an amazing holiday season and happy 2018. I can't believe that it's already a new year and that the whole year has gone by already. That is just mind-blowing to me. I'm super excited to be filming this video for you. These are some of my absolute favorite videos here on YouTube. It's the 2017 beauty favorites. So basically I just went through and picked out some of my favorite beauty products from like skincare, hair care, a lot of makeup, and I'll just be telling you guys what was my favorite products, the like standout key products throughout the year for me. I have a lot of products to get through, so I won't sit here and ramble too much. I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to start with skincare, and then we'll do hair care and then some makeup. So if you want to see what products I've been loving this year, then just stay tuned. Okay, I have a lot of products to get through, so hopefully I can do this pretty fast so this video won't last forever. I'm going to start with skincare. I'm going to start with basically what I just used to remove my makeup, and my favorite product to do that this year was the Clinique Take the Day Off Melting Balm. So what it is, it's basically a balm, and it starts off as a solid, and then you warm it up into like kind of like a liquid oil feeling, and you just use that to remove like your eye makeup, and it just removes things so easy. It gets rid of like the harshest waterproof liners, things like that. So I loved that this year. I've actually gone through like 3 of those, I think, in the past like full year. So I definitely love it, use it every single night. More of a recent favorite that I've been using to take off my eye makeup are these Eyeko Mascara Off Eye Makeup Remover Wipes. I love these because they're just like little kind of tiny like pads with olive oil, aloe. It just has basically a lot of really great ingredients that removes your eye makeup super easy. It doesn't irritate my eyes. I have fairly sensitive skin, so a lot of makeup wipes really bother my eyes. So I have to be careful what I use, and these ones took my makeup off so easy, did the job so well. Yeah, so I'm definitely excited to be getting more of these because I use all of these up. The next skincare product that honestly changed my skin so much this year was the UFO Ultra Clarifying Facial Oil by Sunday Riley. What this is, it's oil. It has salicylic acid in it, which will help combat any like acne or clogged pores. I have really textured skin, so I get lots of bumps on my skin. Not really like full-on breakouts, but just like the under the skin bumpies, clogged pores, things like that. And this honestly helped so much. My skin is so much more smooth. My pores don't seem to be as like clogged and congested anymore. I still do get like the occasional breakout, like a pimple here and there, but it's definitely not as bad as it used to be. And honestly, I can say that it's because of this product. If there's like one product that's like a standout out of all of this stuff, this would definitely be high up on my list. Before you could only get it in the US, but now you can actually get it in Canada, which is awesome because I always had to either find someone down there to ship it to me or pick one up every time I was down there. So this is awesome. If you have any kind of like bumpy skin, acne prone skin, this is life-changing. This shampoo and conditioner by Ouai, I think you pronounce it, in the Damage collection, honestly made my hair so much more healthy and manageable. I obviously dye my hair, so my ends get very, very, very dry. And this made it so much smoother and silky and healthy. I actually tried a sample of it like quite a few months ago. I used it that morning, the sample, and by that night I went out and purchased it because it honestly made a difference after one use. So I love this shampoo and conditioner, and I probably won't use anything else for a long, long time because it's honestly that good. Another hair product I discovered this year and really, really loved was the R&Co Trophy spray. It's a shine and texture spray. My hair has some natural like grit to it to begin with, like it's pretty, has some like natural texture to it. So I don't like texture sprays that are really, really like gritty or like make them feel crunchy. This one just gives like a nice bit of texture, still makes your hair like manageable, also adds its shine, which is nice in my opinion. I also find that like instead of a hairspray, I can just use this, and it kind of does it all for me. It gives me a little bit of hold and a little bit of texture. So that was definitely a favorite for my hair products. One of the self-tanners that I loved this year was the Josie Maran self-tanning oil. I feel like this is something that's not talked about too often. Like, I haven't actually heard anyone really talk about it. One of the ladies at Sephora recommended it to me since I do have dry skin. A lot of self-tanning like mousses or creams just don't blend into my skin well, and they look really streaky, and my dry spots look darker than the rest of my body. This is awesome because it's an oil, it's super hydrating. So I get like a nice glow, but I still get like some moisture to my skin, and it helps it blend out so nice. This is in the scent tahini vanilla, I think. And they also have an apricot vanilla, which is super nice as well. So if you're looking for a good self-tanner, especially in like the winter months when your skin's maybe a bit more dry, this is a really good one to check out. All right, well now for the fun stuff. I know I tried to narrow down to just like one product per category, so like one primer, one foundation, but it was honestly so hard to choose just because my skin changes so much throughout the year. Like, it's super dry in the winter, and then it gets more kind of oily in the summer. So I did have to cheat a little bit just depending on like my skin throughout the year, or just kind of like different products and different needs throughout the year. So anyways, this is the one category that I did cheat on a little bit, and that's primers. So there's two products that I really loved this year. The first one was the Too Faced Hangover Primer. I really like this one because it's nice and hydrating, makes my skin just feel nice and healthy and plump and like rejuvenated. I really like this one in the colder months when my skin's a bit more dry. And then I also really liked the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizer. This one's really good to help kind of blur out your skin, get rid of like the pores, and just help your foundation just lay really nice. So yeah, two very different products, but I love them both equally, and I actually really like to use them together. I use the Hangover one first, kind of to help moisturize, and then I use this just kind of on my T-zone and where I have some like pores and like issues like that, and that'll just help my foundation lay nice. So onto foundation, I had two. I feel like this was probably the hardest category just because I'm always trying out new foundation and my skin's always changing throughout the year. But I ended up going with the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. I really like this one because it's one that I can kind of use all year. If I'm a little dry, I can add a moisturizer. If I'm feeling a bit more oily, I can set it with a powder. It is a bit more of like a full coverage foundation, so if that's not something you're into, you might not like it. For me, I kind of like the full coverage because then I can sheer it out a bit. I also like this one because it just lasts all day on the skin, so I can put it on in the morning and know I don't have to worry about it until like that night. So this is one that I used all year long on myself and on some of my brides as well. Another foundation that's kind of a more newer one for me at least was the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. At first I didn't know how I felt about this. It kind of made some of my skin look dry in areas, but once I knew that, I just would make sure to moisturize well beforehand, and then it ended up looking beautifully. Same thing, lasts a long time on the skin, which is really important to me. I don't want to be touching up a million times a day. So yeah, this was definitely one of a newer favorites of mine. For concealers, it was pretty easy. I went with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This one just has never done me wrong. It's just really nice and hydrating underneath the eyes, gets rid of dark circles, just basically does everything I want my concealer to do. I did try out the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer as well, and I do like it, but it's one that I can't really use as much in the winter months just because my under eyes get really dry, and I can find that it almost looks a little bit too heavy. This one I love because it never looks heavy and it just blends really seamlessly into my foundation. So this was definitely a favorite, not just of 2017, but probably one of like my all-time favorites. My favorite setting powder for 2017 was the RCMA No Color Powder. I like this one because it's really finely milled. It blends into your concealer really nice and just sets everything in place. It's also super affordable. I think for this whole thing is like $9, I want to say. It also looks really good like to set your whole face, and it won't make you look cakey or powdery or anything like that. So since I am more on the dry side, I don't really like to use powders all over my face just because sometimes it can make me look too cakey or powdery, and I just don't like that look. I would rather just have a bit more of a glow to my skin. But there was one powder that I really liked this year, and that was the NYX No Filter powder. So I really like this one because it's really light. It gives just like a little bit of like a coverage to it, not too much, but it just has like a nice sheen to it, so it doesn't make you look powdery or anything like that, but will definitely help cancel out any like oils and just kind of set your foundation. So this was really good considering I'm not a huge fan of powders. So for bronzers, it was an easy choice. I went with the Better Bronzer by Physicians Formula. I have gone through 3 of these this year, and I actually need to go repurchase another one. That's how much I love it. I like it because it's just like the perfect color. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, blends out super nice, and it smells like coconuts, which is a major plus in my opinion. Next is blush, and that's probably one of the hardest ones for me just because I always switch up my blush depending on the seasons or whatever look I'm going for. So I decided just to go with like general brand of blushes, and that is the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes. So this is the palette that I got at their last year's holiday collection, and as you can tell, I definitely used a lot of it this year. I really like all the shades in it, honestly, but the formula of these blushes are just super nice. They last all day. They have good matte shades and also some good shimmer shades as well. So those would definitely be my favorite blushes of 2017. So I feel like this year was definitely the year of highlighters for me. I tried so many different ones. I've tried like liquid ones, gel ones, cream ones, powdered ones. So I actually ended up choosing 3 just because I couldn't choose. So the first one was the Marc Jacob Dew Coconut Gel Highlighter. So this one I love because it's just like the perfect kind of champagne shade. So it blends out really nice. It's just kind of like a warm champagne-y gold shade. You can wear it underneath your foundation, just on bare skin alone. You can wear it on top of your foundation. Sometimes I even mixed it with like my body lotion and would apply it to like my chest and my arms. It also smells really good, which is awesome. So this is one highlighter that I really liked this year. Then there was 2 powdered highlighters that I had to mention. They're 2 very different highlighters. This one is more of like a sheen. This is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in Be My Highlight. It is just a nice, soft highlight. It just gives your skin a nice glow. It's not too blinding. Just kind of gives like the glow from within kind of look. And I love it because it's like $5. The next one is also from the drugstore, and it's the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlight in Molten Gold. This one is definitely more like that blinding highlight. You're gonna see it. It's not natural looking at all, but it's really beautiful as well, and it is more of like the golden tone, so I feel like it would look better on people who maybe have like a little bit of a natural like tan to their skin, or maybe wear it more in like the summer months. For me, I can pull it off in the winter. I just have to be careful and just use it really sparingly, or else it can look too gold on my skin tone. But I feel like the drugstore really stepped up their highlighter game this year. So next I'm going to move on to eye products, and one of my favorite eye products of this year was the MAC Paint Pots. It's just like a staple in my collection. I use it every single day before I do my eye looks, so that's definitely something that I just had to include. I'm not going to go on about it for too long. So one of my favorite everyday eyeshadow palettes was this one by Morphe, and it's called the Bronzed Mocha palette, I believe. I'll list all the names of everything down below in the description box. But I like this one just because it had every single color that I could need every day. It had some like dark ones that I could do a bit of a smoky eye, had some more light ones, lots of nice transition colors, and then it really had some pretty kind of shimmer shades as well. So I really liked this palette all year long. So another eyeshadow palette that I really ended up liking this year that I know kind of had some like mixed reviews and was pretty controversial was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. So those are the colors right there. I ended up really liking this. A lot of people said that it didn't blend out well and was too pigmented and had a lot of fallout. I honestly thought that when used correctly, it was beautiful and I could make some really cool looks. There were a lot of shades that were really good for like everyday wear, but then they also had some fun shades that kind of just made you want to try out different looks. So I felt like this really pushed my creativity this year, so that's why it was definitely one of my favorites. Another one of my favorite products this year was the Stila Magnificent Metals liquid eyeshadow. I loved the look that it gave. It was nice and glittery without being messy, which is a super big plus in my books. I hate when it's like glitter everywhere and it just takes forever. So these were just super easy to use and I loved them. This year I also tried out a lot of different mascaras, but one of my favorites ended up being the Stila Huge Extreme Mascara. I love the wand. It's just like nice and big and makes my lashes have so much volume. So that was my favorite mascara throughout the year. This was a new product of 2017, weren't you? My favorite liquid liner this year was the NYX matte liquid liner. Usually I don't like these kind of applicators. I'm usually more of a fan of like the felt tip ones instead of like the brush on ones, but I really liked how matte this stayed and how well it lasted on my eyes as well. It didn't like crumble or smudge or anything like that. So this was definitely one of my favorites throughout the year. My favorite pencil liner was one that I've always kind of stuck with. I don't try too many just because I do have pretty sensitive eyes, and this one never seems to bother me. It's the Makeup Forever waterproof eyeliner in black, and it stays all day on my waterline and it doesn't smudge or irritate my eyes. Alright, we're almost at the end. My favorite brow product, or at least my brow pencil, was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. This is the pencil that I use majority of the time to fill in my brows. I like it because it's super fine tip that I can really get in and get nice little hair strokes. And it lasts quite a while on my brows. It doesn't fade or smudge throughout the day, which is really nice as well. My favorite brow gel of the year is kind of a newer one. It's by the Brow Babe, which is a local brow studio here in my hometown. I like it because of the unique applicator. It's really nice and precise, so I can really get into my brow hairs, and I can also kind of use it to kind of shape my brows a little bit as well. I just think that it's a super cool, innovative, unique product that I was really liking this year. Next, I just have a few lip products. These are some of the products too that I switch out all the time. There's not like one shade that I use all the time or that's my kind of like go-to, but I'll just kind of show you a few products that I've been liking. I'm not a huge fan of liquid lipsticks. A lot of them are really drying on my lips and can just kind of feel like crusty and just kind of accentuate any dry patches on my lips. So I did really like the Kylie Cosmetic Velvet lipsticks. It's not a super drying formula. It doesn't dry down completely matte. Has kind of more of like a plush feeling to it, kind of like a semi-matte finish. And I really ended up liking her vacation shades that she came out with, just like super nice nudes and pinks that I actually used quite a bit this year. One color of lipstick that I do go back to over and over, and I go back to like the formulas, are MAC lipsticks. They're just like classic, good go-to lipsticks. You're gonna find one no matter what that you like. They have nudes, they have darks, they have mattes, they have like more satin finishes, they have more glossy finishes. They just have every kind of lipstick. And one of my favorites is Blankety. I really liked it, as you can tell. I used it all up. I've gone through many of these. It's just a really good nude. It's not too pink. It's a bit more of like a cool toned nude, which I personally like on my skin tone. So that's one that I really like, but again, all MAC liquid lipsticks are usually some of my favorites that I go back to year after year. The lip gloss this year that I really loved is kind of a newer one for me. I just got it about a few months ago, but it's the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, and it is amazing. They say it's a universal shade, and I honestly believe it. It looks good on everyone. It looks good on any skin tone, on any look. I feel like it just makes your lips look nice and healthy. It's not too sticky or like gloopy feeling. It's just honestly the perfect lip gloss. I really like the doe foot applicator as well. It's just really nice and big. It smells amazing. I hope she comes out with more shades because I would probably purchase them all. And the very last thing I have to mention is just a setting spray. I tried out a lot of new setting sprays this year, and A lot of them are great and worked well and I like, but this is the one that I just keep repurchasing, and it's the MAC Fix Plus. It just makes your skin have a little bit of like life back to it. It gets rid of the powdery look, helps kind of set the makeup. Your skin just looks like skin again. And I use it on my like brushes. I use it before makeup, after makeup. It's something that I can't live without, and so it's one that I definitely had to mention. Like I said, there are a lot of setting sprays that I do like, so if you want, I can do like a whole dedicated video on some of my favorites, but this is probably the one that is my all-time 2017 favorite. Well, I think that's it. I think that's all of the products I have. I feel like I was talking a million miles an hour, and I went over a lot of products. I'm super excited for 2018 and just to see what comes in the new year. There's always new makeup coming out, always new collections, so I'm excited to kind of try them out for you guys and let you know my thoughts on some of the new products that are going to be coming out this year. So if you want me to do more kind of in-depth reviews or like beauty favorites like this like every month, let me know, because I honestly really like these videos. I love seeing what people are liking this year, maybe what's worth purchasing and maybe what's not purchasing. There definitely are a few products this year that are major duds in my book. So if you want, maybe I'll do a dedicated videos on products I didn't like or products that just didn't work out for me. So if that's something you want to see, let me know as well. So that took me forever to film, and now I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna go get some lunch, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys. Another one of my favorite products this year was you.
Mommy.
How much did you love me this year?
A lot.
Yay! Okay, I'll come right down.